Hey guys, I'm here back with another math video. Today we're going to be doing folding paper again. And so here's the question. This just came out of my school textbook and I thought it was pretty hard. So given that you have an 8.5 by 11 inch sheet of paper and you fold the paper over like so in the diagram, just fold this triangle over such that this corner right here touches this corner. Prove that the length L squared equals 2x cubed over 2x minus 8.5, and x is just this length right here and L is just this length. And see if you can do it. And here's the solution. So yeah, this question actually does require trigonometry, and it's annoying. I don't like trigonometry, but that is the nature of some folding questions. So let's label some angles. You'll need this angle, and remember, because we just fold this triangle over, the area that we folded over remains the same. So this triangle right here is equal and congruent to this triangle right here. So these two angles should be the same. So that's just A and A, angle A, and angle A, and angle B. And let's label this section right here Y. So what we know is that x plus y equals 8.5 because they just make up this side. And cosine of angle B is just y over x, because that's of course the definition of cosine. See, there's B and here's a right angle, so it's y over x. And thus, if we multiply both sides by x, y equals x cosine B. Okay, pretty good. Let's sub in for y. So x plus, we sub in for y in this equation, by the way, x plus x cosine B equals 8.5. Okay, that seems pretty good, but it'd be nice if we didn't have b. Maybe we could put everything in terms of a, because b sort of includes y, so it's sort of messy. So let's try to get rid of b and replace it with a. So keep in mind that a plus b equals 180. So 2a plus b equals 180. So b equals 180 minus 2a. So let's sub in b for a. X plus x cosine 180 minus 2a equals 8.5. In order to go on from here, we can use a cosine identity. So, one of the rules is that cosine of a plus minus b is equal to cosine a cosine b, switch the sign, sine a sine b. So if we use it for here, 180 minus 2a, you get x plus x cosine 180 cosine 2a minus sine 180 sine 2a, and this equals 8.5. And of course this is just negative 1, sine 180 is just 0, so this simplifies into x plus x negative cosine 2a equals 180. And we don't want the cosine in there, you know. I don't want the cosine in my final answer. So let's try to get rid of the cosine and the 2a, because 2a is sort of messy. Let's use another identity. Cosine 2a is equal to cosine squared a minus sine squared a. And what is cosine a? Let's just go over here. Cosine a, if you look at the diagram, is just this side divided by this side, so that would be x over L. Similarly, sine A is just this long side of the paper divided by L, so that would be square root L squared minus x squared over L. So let's keep going on this equation. X plus x, oh sorry, I want to take out the minus sign, so x minus x cosine squared A minus sine squared A equals 8.5. Why did I say 180 here? I meant 8.5. Okay, let's sub in cosine A and sine A. So x minus x cosine A is just x over L. Square that. That's x squared over L squared. Minus sine squared. Square that. So that's L squared minus x squared over L equals 8.5. And let's just sort of simplify this. So that would mean x minus x, and if you subtract this, if you simplify this, that would be x squared minus L squared plus x squared over L squared. This is also squared, sorry. It's 8.5. Oh geez, I'm running out of room. I love it when I run out of room, don't you? X minus x times 2x squared minus L squared over L squared equals 8.5. See if we can find more room. Ooh, there's plenty of room up there. Let's go up there. I gotta keep looking for room. So x minus 2x cubed minus xl squared over L squared equals 8.5. Multiply everything by L squared. XL squared minus 2x cubed. And remember, minus minus, it's plus. XL squared equals 8.5 L squared, because you multiply everything by L squared. Let's try to single out the L squared, so that would make 2xL squared minus 8.5 L squared equals 2x cubed. L squared times 2x minus 8.5 equals 2x cubed. And then L squared equals 2x cubed over 2x minus 8.5. And we proved it. That's the same thing from over there, and we just did it over here, using the power of trigonometry. Is just square root 9 minus r squared, is that the length of that little bit right here. So the height of the cone would just be 9 minus r squared plus 3. This is the height of the cone, because we just took a cross section of this figure and we looked at it from a side view, and that's sort of what you get. Now that we know the height of the cone, we can actually have a function for volume in terms of r.